I would love to just start out broad and then dig deeper. And the idea of the topic here, the revenue logic of customer obsession, it sounds very provocative. When you think of the revenue logic of customer obsession, what comes to mind? What's important to you heading up revenue globally for the company?
Sure, it's overused terminology, but voice of the customer, really. How hard we run today in the business world, just period overall, but in the business world, I like to say you're either unemployed or overemployed. Today, we have a lot coming at us. I get asked all the time, hey, in sales, I get your folks just starting out sales careers or younger in their leadership careers saying, Greg, what's the number one skill set I should focus or work at? I'm like, geez, get your time management down, get your priorities down, your organization down. And if you happen to be in sales, make sure that's focused on the client, the customer. I spent the entire week in Dallas with our executive leadership team doing some planning for second half of the year and starting for FY27. I wish I had a picture I could share. I don't think anybody took a picture, but our CEO, Lou Keys, took a bright orange chair from our lobby area, brought it into our executive boardroom and put it at the head of the table to represent the customer as we were going through our strategy and our planning. And the purpose of that is we recognize here at Rithum that we can get sidetracked, we can get easily distracted with all the noise, the fluidity of the marketplace, AI, right? The exponential growth of AI and what that represents and what that means. The expectation of investors, the marketplace itself, competition, etc. It's super easy to forget about the customer, the client. Not that you ever want to, and you believe intrinsically that you're keeping them at the center. But when you're chasing after profits, when you're fending off competition, when you're trying to be innovative and not only just survive, but thrive in the marketplace, you can lose track or lose sight of the customer. You can forget to stop and pause and say, wait, what does this mean to our clients? Is this what the client would want? And really put yourself in their shoes. For me, at least, and I've been around a long time, I tease all the time, I'm a 500-year-old vampire. I've been around a long time, and I can promise you, before technology really went on steroids, it was the pace of business and just life. You definitely had more time to consider and keep front and center the client, the customer. If you, being companies, organizations, executives, if you don't keep that at the forefront of your collaboration, your communication strategies, your plans, et cetera, and you don't force those conversations, if you don't do things like visually putting an orange chair visibly in a room full of black chairs, the orange chair at the end of the table, a long executive conference room, and say, that's our client. Any conversation we're having, we need to keep the client, the customer in mind. This isn't about us. We don't exist. If the client isn't served, if the client isn't gaining value, if we're not going to where the client wants to be. And so that's how I would sum that up or summarize that.